gentlemen, we are about to get started. Please be seated. Thank you.
Hello everyone and welcome back after lunch. I hope you all enjoyed those delicious and diverse offerings. Next we will be hearing from those at the very cutting edge of agri-tech, over from India to share their expertise on integrated, smart and sustainable agriculture platforms. Please welcome Navarun Atre of Transitory, Vaibhav Tidke of S4S Technologies, Prateep Basu of Satshore, Taranjeet Bamra of Agnext, and moderating this panel we have from Taiwan, Hatakan Kamalsiri Sakul.
Okay, we're missing one.
Oh.
Vaibhav. Hello. He's just right here. We're missing one. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you. See, anything can go wrong, especially right after lunch. All right. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Taran, second year for you. Prateep, first year, and thank you for being here, and Navarun as well. And as soon as we look at Vaibhav, welcome on stage. Okay. Okay. So this panel was intentionally put. So if we think about, in the next, by 2050, the global population is going to be 9 billion. How do we feed? But also if we look within the agri-tech sector itself, or agri-sector itself, 30 or even more than 30% of the carbon emission comes from the agri-tech side. And India, of course, being one of the largest country in terms of population, is driving a lot of that. But this also means solutions in India can drive a lot of change as well. So we have curated this panel with, the top startups from India and innovators as well, just to share about what's going on in India, what's been happening. Is there any learning that we can learn from the country itself? So maybe I think there was a consensus during the pre-call that Taran, you being, a veteran, second year for us, perhaps you can kick us off telling about yourself and your company as well.
Thank you so much, Gamma. I think it's a pleasure to be here. And I was not part of the consensus, I was made. But I must say that the event has gone strength from the last time. And I'm pretty sure the ecosystem that the region needs for all the agri innovators to come together has found a cornerstone at Thaiva. So much applaud for this event, actually, for doing this event. Thank you so much, first of all, on behalf of all agri innovators. But now, what brings us here is that the question, right? So the question is about, how agriculture tech started in India in the last 10 years and how it has evolved, and what we have seen, typical to what India does, first software and then AI and then things of hardware towards the end. What we had seen in agri ecosystem is that we started with a lot of applications of hardware in the upstream around 10 years back. Whether it is the seafood like e-fisheries in Indonesia, there were a lot of Aruwaka, etc., which worked a lot on IoT applications. Then there were a lot of innovations that were started with other hardware interventions in upstream. But then suddenly we found that India had gone big in downstream with market linkages, and that had scaled significantly for healthcare and other segments in India. So that's where the next startup came of doing the downstream or market linkages, and that scaled significantly in India. But after around 7 to 8 years in this, what what eventually was found was that connecting the upstream and the downstream, there is something called a messy middle. The middle stream is something that has been missing. And that's where I think supply chain innovations came out in the last 3-4 years, especially after the COVID. And people realize that actually now the hardware, software, and AI has to come together to solve for midstream and then connect both the upstream and the downstream together. I think this has now finally evolved into what we call as the end-to-end solution stack that few startups have actually understood and now scaling much faster. So the whole ecosystem evolved in a way, and now what are the various expertise that startups? Yeah.
And also, on the